The first question, I want to talk about national versus state politics. To an extent, national politics have always been a part or had an influence on local politics. But in this election, it seems we may have lost balance. Are we talking too much about Washington, D.C.? Is this a referendum on Donald Trump and Joe Biden, or is this a race between you candidates with a focus on Arkansas and Arkansans? And Mr. Harrington, I'll start with you.
Well, I'd first like to say that is one of the reasons why I decided to run for governor of Arkansas instead of running on the federal level, because of this hyper-partisanship that is going on in Washington. It's becoming very, very volatile. And my focus in that Senate campaign directly translate to right here in the state and helping the people of Arkansas. We've got to find a way to get away from the violence, the anger, and the hatred that is so prevalent in our country. And we need to start treating one another as human beings that have the right to self-determination. So all the stuff that's going on in Washington and all the talking heads on cable news, sometimes we need to tune them out and remember that we have neighbors in this state that happen to believe differently. We need to get back down to these basics of good governance.
To Ms. Sanders, you have 1 minute.
First, thank you so much for having us here today. I think that there has to be a balance. You cannot ignore the failures that are coming out of Washington right now. We have out-of-control crime that is ravaging our cities. We have a crisis taking place at our southern border, allowing drugs to pour into our communities. We have record-breaking inflation that is hurting families across the state. So these failures of the Biden administration certainly cannot be ignored. However, the reason I'm running for governor is because I think the places where we can make the biggest difference and transform our state and impact and empower families is at the state level. Focusing on things like education, making sure that every child in the state of Arkansas has access to a quality education, and that we're putting kids on a pathway to prosperity, that we are building a skilled, qualified workforce right here at home so that everyone has opportunity, making sure the communities our kids grow up in are safe. These are the things that I'll focus on and prioritize as governor, and these are the things I've spent the last 2 years talking about as I've traveled around the state of Arkansas, and that message is clearly resonating as we've seen.
Mr. Jones, you have 1 minute.
Thank you to UCA, thank you to the moderators, thank you Ricky Dale for being here again. Sarah, thank you for being here for the first time. Look, this has always been about Arkansas. I'm a 7th generation Arkansan who grew up in Pine Bluff, and from the start we set out to listen to Arkansans all over this state. We've traveled to all 75 counties and heard from Arkansans. And what they're saying is that they really want us to get back to the bread and butter issues that matter. And that's why our agenda is pretty straightforward. It's about spreading PB&J across the whole state. Now, it sounds cool and sounds cute, but the deal is, when you think about a bad peanut butter and jelly sandwich, the peanut butter's clumped and the jelly's clumped, and sometimes you take a bite and all you get is dry bread. Well, Arkansans across this state, in places from Mena to Cove to Stamps to Wabaseka, are taking bites and getting dry bread. We need preschool broadband and jobs across the entire state, and that's, as governor, that's certainly what I would focus on.
All right, Mr. Harrington, we go back to you for 30 seconds for rebuttal.
Anyone that is in that office in Washington has an opportunity. Anyone that is in the office here in Little Rock has an opportunity to do good for people. And again, I want to re-emphasize that we are focusing too much on its one side solution versus the other side solution, and we need to get back down to basic common sense when we deal in our government. We have to start listening to one another, be open with our ideas, and start focusing on solutions. And the stuff that we have going on right now in our country, we have to find a way to get away from it.
Ms. Sanders, you have 30 seconds.
I think one of the most important things we can do, and certainly one of the biggest priorities that I'll have as governor when I take office in January, is to focus on the education in Arkansas. I think it is the single biggest and best place where a governor can impact change and really transform our state. I recently introduced a plan called Arkansas Learns that will focus on several key areas that will bring our state together and make sure every child in this state is put on a path to success.
Mr. Jones.
You know, I actually agree. We certainly have to treat each other like neighbors, and we must focus on education. My grandfather, who had a third grade education, he grew up in South Arkansas, he drove a truck. He knew the value of education and pushed that for us. And I want every Arkansan to have opportunities. And that includes starting out of the blocks with pre-K and going all throughout the educational pipeline. I also want to make sure that we're focused on economic development in rural areas that have been forgotten and left out. And in that way, we uplift Arkansas and really truly realize the promise of Arkansas.